So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cousins now to throw on first down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 75 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, receiver. Let's 50, here we go.
First down, here's Cousins. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Black.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Whitney Merciless in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Black. We're going. Let's go. Rhino.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They'll run with Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really well and makes a big play.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 14-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Spinning away. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ben Gideon in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. On second down, here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And down he'll go at the 25. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Here's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. Cook able to escape. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Ringo, here we go.
They run again on first down. Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like with the...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And they got the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And here comes the Texans now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Back 22!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one is incomplete, and it also concludes quarter number 1. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Griffin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Richmond!
On first down, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Watson being chased out left. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you gotta remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it. The NFL jumped into popularity with an overtime game, the Baltimore Colts being the New York Giants. back in, what was it, 1959, 58, 59. That's when the NFL really came into prominence, and it was sudden death. Alan Amici, the Colts got the ball, they scored. No one talked about anything but, boy, what an exciting game. As time went on, people started talking about fairness. So the overtime rule finally got changed. If you score first with a touchdown, the game's over. Otherwise, you keep playing. I think that's pretty cool. And in our 2 championship games this year, we had overtime in both. Tom Brady and the Patriots won the toss, went downfield, scored a touchdown, ball game. Drew Brees and the Saints won the coin toss, threw an interception. The Rams kicked the field goal and won. Defense still exists if you care to play it.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third?
Yellow, yellow. It's in there. Yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow. Rhino, Rhino. Oh, you got deep.
Working out of the gun. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had 2 excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams winning in overtime thanks to Greg Zuerlein. He had 2 huge kicks, but that was really overshadowed because afterwards, obviously, everyone talking about the no call.
Yeah, and we should be talking about Legatron. A 48-yarder to get them to overtime. The 57-yarder to win it in overtime. He should be the guy who should be exalted right now, but you're exactly right. Nickel Roby-Coleman's hit on Tommy Lee Lewis in regulation, when I saw it live, thought it was a bang-bang play. Turned out, it was definitely a missed call. Plus, they missed helmet-to-helmet contact on it as well. So if you're a Saints fan, you are very unexcited about the Rams advancing to the Super Bowl, but I still don't want pass interference to become a reviewable call. The game flow is paramount to me. Let's not slow it down any more than it already is.
Yeah, it could be a slippery slope, then you start doing it with everything, right?
Next thing you know, we'll be reviewing holding. And by the way, you can probably call holding just about every play in the NFL.
On first down, it's Watson. On the move to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left side. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Reset, reset, reset. Hey, blue lady. Blue lady. Yeah, you don't want none. Hey.
Throwing again is Watson. Underneath from Miller. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Back 22. Back 22. 2 jet. 2 jet.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Anthony Barr able to finally wrestle him down for a huge loss, and that'll take us to 4th down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Down. Black 22. Black 22. Two jet.
They're going for it. It's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. They run the counter with Cook, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
We're going. Let's go. Gun.
2nd down, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
We're going. Let's go.
Throwing is Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half.
Come back.
Managing risk is a big decision here.
Come back.
Watson on 1st down. He finds an opening past the 40. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the gun, here's Watson. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Watson off play action. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
They are going for it. Here's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Come back. Come back. Do jet.
A final shot before the break. Watson. Looking long for Thomas. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Green the line. Green.
On 1st down, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Out to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Black 22. Black 22.
They'll try and throw for it here. Steps away. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 38. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It can be so many different things. Bottom line, though.
And now look at this. Big gain by fumble. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster. And we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. They go play action here on first down. Steps away to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Well, while we have a second here, how about we get bold and make a couple Super Bowl predictions?
Hey, why not? Let's go ahead and put ourselves on the spot.
Just more fodder for the angry people. What do you think? Who's going to win it? Who's going to be the MVP?
Well, my prediction for this one is the New England Patriots win the football game. They win it 32-30. The MVP, the McCourty twins, Jason and Devin. They both get 2 interceptions apiece, and instead of splitting the trophy, they wrestle for it right there in the 50-yard line post-game because you know sibling rivalries, one always wants the upper hand.
Okay, that's bold. I'll go Rams on a Greg Zuerlein 44-yarder from the right hash as time expires.
44, that's nothing for him.
MVP Todd Gurley, 2 touchdowns, 1 catching, 1 rushing.
I like it.
There you go.
You don't like the McCourty thing, though, do you?
No, I do like that. If that happens, you're Nostradamus.
There you go.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
Off of play action, it's Watson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Cousins on 1st down. Flushed out right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling.
And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Hey, flipper.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being confident.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown of the night. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will extend this big lead. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal, and the Pigskin at the 7-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. Now what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. A give. This is Cook. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Down! Green the line! Green the line!
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Over the middle, open is Thomas. They can't tackle him. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Demaryius Thomas from 6 yards away. And the Texans are able to make things a bit more respectable. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
He's going to get this one down to